What's going on, everyone? Welcome to I Am and So Are You. Today I'm going to talk about belief and why it is not necessary, why you don't need it. But I'll tell you what is necessary. If you're struggling to believe, I promise you this is a video you want to watch. I promise you. I got this. What canceled out all of my lack of belief was one specific video from Tom Karen, and I'm going to take a few pieces of that and kind of expand on it. Okay? And why belief is not necessary at all. But there are some things that are necessary, but believing it is, you're struggling for no reason if this is a struggle of yours. So I started off here. Stop trying to believe this shit. That's what's keeping you stuck, is you're trying to believe it. There's a version of you already that already is believing this shit and is already living it. And so the trying is where you're getting caught up and where you're looping. Okay, this 3D character was specifically designed for separation. That is the point of us being clothed with this human, is for specifically separation. The 3D mind is here so that we can experience something that is something other than what we are. The 3D character is designed specifically for us to be able to focus in on ourselves and be a specific viewpoint for God to be able to experience itself through us and as us. So you got to know that the you that you think you are was designed for this confusion, for to have all these questions, to wonder, why am I here? All of these separation questions is what you're here for. We're here so that we can experience what we're not and then find our way out of the darkness back into the light. When we become the darkness, when we are submerged in darkness and debts and bills and divorces, everything like that forces us down into the dark, where at that point we have no choice but to become the light. Like, that's why we're here. This is all for design. We're supposed to go through this suffering and this quote unquote separation. Okay, you got to know that that's what this is for. This mind is supposed to not know what God is. That's the whole point of this. There's never going to be some video that you're missing. Okay, there's not going to be some manifestation video that you're going to say, oh, this is the one. Okay, this one right here is my aha moment. Like, there's not some video in 5 days that you're gonna find, and then it's gonna finally put you over the edge, and now you're confident enough to really step into your power. You are the aha moment. Okay, you are the proof. You're never gonna find any proof out there, because out there is the echo. It is the reflection. Okay, so out there you will never find anything out there. Okay, so you'll never convince this 3D world you that is literally looking out at outer conditions for proof of who they are, that they are already who they desire to be. The 3D character, it's literally specifically designed to look out there for proof of who it thinks it is. Okay, so that's going to be the function of the ego. The ego is going to continuously scan and look, where is this shit at? Where is this shit at? You have got to know your divinity. You've got to be able, the definition of divine is, if I believe this correctly, it is to have the ability to transcend, which transcends means to rise above, the ability to transcend perceived limitations. Okay? And the 3D out there looking around for proof, that's a perceived limitation. It's the effort and the resistance from trying to believe this that is keeping you from and moving to and occupying your new reality. It's the effort and resistance. The effort and resistance is what is keeping you from being in your desired reality. Those are the effort and resistance. Those two words right there are so huge. Those are what's blocking your ass from living in your desired end, or from experiencing it in this current 3D. Dare to believe that if you can imagine it, if you can think of it, if you can see it with your mind's eye, if you can feel it in your imagination, dare to imagine that if you can see it, then there must be a version of you who's already living it. If you can wrap your little 3D mind around the fact that if you can think it, if you can see it, if you can hear it, if you can touch it with your imagination, wrap your little mind around the fact that if you can see that, if you can have all these senses of it, then there has to be a version of you that's occupying it here and now. Accept the fact that if you can see it, if you can touch it, if you can smell it, if you can do all that, then it's a reality here right now. There is a reality right here, right now for you. Turn to your multidimensional self. Turn to your multidimensional self, your I am, your source, and be willing to believe. You don't gotta believe this shit. What you do have to do is you gotta be willing to believe this shit. This stuff is so simple, but we make it so hard. God just wants your presence. He does not need your perfection. God does not need your perfection. I promise you, I am living proof. I am solid living proof that he does not need your perfection, because this character, Joe, is the furthest thing from perfection. Okay? And I wasn't believing this shit. I had doubts and fears and worries and all that shit. But I knew that if I just stayed present with God, with my I am, because I have nothing to fear when I know who walks beside me. I have nothing to fear when I know who walks beside me and who is within me. How in the hell can I fear anything? I am one with infinite intelligence, and so are you. And so is everything else. If you look into a flower, it has the exact same qualities that anything else does. If you take the qualities of a rhino's ass, it's got the same exact thing as a flower does. It's the same thing. Turn to your multidimensional self, man. Know that you're a multidimensional, limitless being. That's all it takes. That's all it takes is for you to be willing to believe. I promise. I can promise you it's all it takes. It's like the story of the prodigal son. That's a fantastic example of that. I'm not going to get into it, but if you don't know the story of the prodigal son, check it out. That's pure gold itself. When you turn to God, God turns to you. You take one step to God, God takes 2 steps back towards you. And I remember when I first started this journey, that would piss me off, because I'm like, nah, man, I am turning to God. Like, I'm asking him for all this shit. He ain't doing nothing for me. Like, I am turning to him. Turning to him doesn't completely leave you out of like any responsibility or anything like that. What turning to God means is you giving up the fear and doubt and worry, knowing that it's already done, knowing that you are one with infinite intelligence. One affirmation that I used was, I do not have to manage this. I do not have to manage this. Any action that is required to take will happen naturally. Any action that is required of me to take will happen naturally on its own. It will occur naturally on its own. That leaves me free out of any doing, any stress over, well, should I do this? Should I do that? It cancels the ego out right there completely. I do not have to manage this. I am is already managing everything. What I got to do is I got to be willing to believe this shit. And I got to be willing to know that I am a multidimensional, limitless being made in the image of my creator. I am made in the image of the creator. I am the ultimate divine structure through which everything comes through. And when I start doubting, that's what I say. Say it to yourself. I am a multidimensional, limitless being made in the image of my creator. And creation don't make mistakes. Therefore, I'm perfect. Creation don't make mistakes. Therefore, you are perfect. Creation does not make mistakes. Creation is finished. All my creations serve me. I'm the creator. Creation's finished. Pete Sapper. Know that if you are not putting 100% of your faith in God, or in other words, your desired end, there's literally no difference, then what you're doing is you're putting 100% faith in your past. If you are not 1000% of your faith being in God, in source, in infinite intelligence, the one that is with you at all times, if you're not putting all of your faith and trust in infinite intelligence, then you're putting your trust in your past. The past that you're trying to fucking get away from. When you turn to God and you turn to your desired end, I hear people, I remember one video I saw, it was of a success story of a lady talking about how she just fell so in love with her I am. She fell so in love with I am. She said, I love my I am. That's all I want. I don't even want to focus on nothing else. It's just I am. I'm in peace and I am. And I remember it was a Tom Caron video, and he says, focus on your, he's like, that's great, that's amazing, but focus on your desired end. It's the same thing. Your desired end, you, in that fulfilled reality that you're trying to materialize, there's no difference between that and what God is. There's no difference. You focusing on your fulfillment is focusing on God. If you're struggling to believe, stop trying to believe this shit and go straight to the version of you that already is knowing, that already does know. Remember, you don't gotta believe it. You don't have to do anything other than be willing to believe and knowing that you're resisting and trying to be this person is what's keeping you from being the person. Give up the effort, give up the struggling, give up the resistance. Know that if you are ever in any of those states, the struggling and the effort is not good. It's not good. It's a bad sign. If you are ever out of alignment and not happy, you're just out of alignment. You just need to stop and figure out, okay, who am I being? What am I doing? What am I thinking? Who am I being for me to be able to get these thoughts? Because you're only thinking who you are being. You're only thinking what you're feeling. Okay, so who are you being at all times? All right. I love you guys. Thank you very much for watching.